The Seamless Robe by Lillian de Waters, 1934. O, every one that thirsteth for peace and yearneth for understanding, come ye to the feast. Yea, come, eat and drink without money and without price. The banquet is prepared, the hour is at hand. We need look neither in the past nor to the future, for we live in perpetual good now, and we can experience it now. The seamless robes symbolizes wholeness and perfection of being, contains within itself infinite blessings which are ours to know and ours to experience in earth as in heaven. The truth is our own being, and its immortal good may be brought right into our daily living. We need not suffer any sort of limitation. Freedom, peace, and certainty are the natural qualities of being, awaiting our recognition and acceptance. Could the kingdom of heaven be within us, as Jesus said, yet a mist or a wall hide it from us? Could this world be for us nothing but a course of instruction, teaching us the good and true only through tests and trials? Must we have been limited and bound by sickness and the fear of death, by sin and its penalties, in order to understand the nature and quality of our being? Is there an understanding which will make darkness light before us? Let each face and answer these questions. Quote, "How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things." These glad tidings are that we can experience freedom and harmony now, that we can enjoy health and happiness this instant. There is no suffering body to be healed, nor any person or circumstance to improve in our favor. We need not delay in accepting the life of perpetual peace and certainty now, ready and finished in earth as in heaven. Life and its perfect experience are one and identical, now and here available. Not only shall we understand that our true being includes our ever-present and eternal health, harmony, and happiness, but we shall also understand how to express this fact in our present existence. The hour is come for us to understand perfect life and what it includes. The belief that our well-being depends upon certain conditions, persons, or things may be relinquished. For were this true, then living would be at the mercy of circumstances. Health, wealth, harmony, and happiness are ours not by thoughts or works. They inhere in our being and are our very nature. We need only know and accept this to be so and conform with our being to experience this reality now and here. Take health out of thing and thought, out of the power of person, circumstance, object, and thing. Let your confidence in all these things be surrendered to the one all transcendent being. Ever speaks the living truth. I am the one and only reality, without dreams or delusions. Omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. I know all, I am all. Here in my ever-present world, I act without need of any way or method of deliverance. For in my world there is no evil to be delivered from, inasmuch as the darkness and the light are both alike to me. There is no false world in which I could express myself. My world is as real and as perfect as I am. There can be no denial of the perpetual harmony of my being. Verily, verily, thou mayest know the real and express the fruit of the Spirit in earth as in heaven. When one supposes that sickness or limitation has gotten a hold upon either his body or his affairs, he can stand still, awake and aware in the one presence, knowing, quote, naught can disturb, God is my peace. For peace and the certainty of the good now and here is our normal consciousness. One keeps himself awake by learning what truth is, by practicing it and being it, by accepting no false gods or untrue beliefs. The Epistle of James states clearly, quote, the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. We have nothing to do but to understand that all is harmony and perfection always. Life is not limited to person, place, or thing, for life includes all and is self-existent spirit. The nature of life is to live. Consequently, there is nothing in it to die, inasmuch as life is God everlasting. Moreover, life cannot be sick or injured, or rendered inactive or overactive, for there is no quality in life to produce such phenomena. Nor is there any other power which could change, harm, or interfere with life's action, since it is the action of God, and therefore immutable, because it changes not, and inviolable, for the reason that there is nothing to challenge it. So life is never at the mercy of personal beliefs, fears, doubts, fancies of any kind. Inasmuch as life is supreme, all transcendent reality. Many times we have heard it said that fear and discord bring suffering into our lives. Let us lovingly and gladly accept the larger perception that suffering should not be accepted as a penalty for fear, for wrong thought, or for mistakes of any kind. Since there is no consciousness of imperfection in perfection, there could be no condemnation for man, whether for his fears, his ignorance, sins, or any erring belief. There is no censure in divine wisdom, no penalty in divine love, which might be brought to bear upon him. The sayings that the wages of sin is death, and for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he, are transcended when a higher understanding of life is revealed. Says the truth of being, quote, though your sins may be as scarlet in your eyes, they shall be as white as snow in mine. Divine intelligence does not include the recognition of suffering of any kind. Therefore, it is time that we refuse to be held or bound by any such outgrown theories and come to know our perfect life and its experience as possible now and here. Do you hesitate to accept this insight, fearing that thereby appearances of evil might increase, or that one might become too complacent in self-righteousness? He who has ears to hear will hear. He who is thirsty for the higher righteousness will drink from this living fountain. And, quote, it shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. Verily, the time is here to set aside the supposition that spiritual growth means the way of the cross, for suffering need not be the only means of bringing us into higher understanding. We may, in quotes, grow in grace as the lilies grow. All theology taught that through trials and afflictions we enter the kingdom. But let us be willing to rise above theology and accept the clearer illumination that we live in heaven now, and good comes to us because it is the nature of our being. God's incessant activity is peace, harmony, joy, and blessedness, which is ever full, ever complete, perfect, and present. Man is unfallen, therefore we can transcend beliefs in his regeneration, restitution, and salvation, and bring about the vision and experience of perfect being, here and now. There will be a great world awakening when it is seen and felt that suffering is not evil in itself, but a signal for that individual to stand still and obey the precept, know thyself. Become better acquainted with the meaning of life and its natural, peaceful activity. There is no evil in God. There is no sin, suffering, or death in the sight of God. It is inevitable that life or being shall be true to itself, shall eternally know and experience itself. So to know thyself means to understand one's true self and to live and express it. For knowing includes living. Life is self-governed and self-expressed. Thus, if we seem to be arrested in our progress and placed in prisons of various kinds, they are not to be thought of as evils, but as signals that we shall pause and come face to face with what life requires of us, and then fulfill it. Quote, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left. A quote from Isaiah. Today there is a crying out to be delivered from discords, afflictions, and limitations. And as never before, a great effort is being made to rid existence of these. If attention should be taken from these conditions and given over wholly to the understanding of life and to the knowledge of what it includes, then, quote, all these good things shall be added unto you. Quote, he has showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Micah. You see, there is no real affliction or limitation to be healed, or remedied, or prayed over, or treated. But there is your life and being which is to be known, understood, and expressed. Haven't we been trying too long to overcome sickness, sorrow, and suffering by various modes of treatment, instead of letting them go and giving our whole attention to discovering the truth of life and what it requires of us? Truly, we live only to accept and express our perfect being. We should know then that whatever does not conform to peace, love, and harmony must be given up. Paul had a clear vision of this when he said, quote, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterwards it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. People who seem sick wish material or mental help so as to be well, whereas the point to consider is neither one of mental nor physical harmony, but of spiritual wholeness, which includes both mind and body. At one time, when Daniel was troubled with fear, he was comforted by an angel which said to him, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard. Quote, greater works than these shall be done, shall he do. These words need not mean only greater healing works, nor a larger proportion of deliverances from limitations, afflictions, and sorrows, but transcending this, a wider and deeper understanding of life and what it includes, and particularly what it requires of us. The reference to greater works has really not so much to do with healing or with the removal of discords from experience as with the opening of the perception to the fuller recognition that one is to conform in his daily life to the reality of his being. Though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burnt, and have not a genuine understanding of life, so that I live and express my true being, it availeth me nothing. Our daily experience is in heaven. Our health, wealth, happiness, and harmony ever abide in our own being, and are to be realized and expressed in everyday living. And truly, there is no evil in all-inclusive reality, for the darkness and the light are both alike to thee. Quote, they all shall know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, says the Lord. This is not a theory, but a fact. Often what is called suffering and seems an unnecessary experience is only considered so because of surface judgment. For it may be right at this point that one is to become better acquainted with his true self, and be more willing and ready to live in harmony with it. The place whereon thou standest is where thou shalt know thyself, for God, thy eternal good, is omnipresent. Quote, if I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. And if I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost part of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. A quote from David. When suffering brings one into a more sympathetic understanding of life, and so enables him to express love more tenderly and truly, then the tribulation is not to be remembered as evil, but as angels entertained unawares. Losses, diseases, limitations are but names given to certain times in one's experience when his own being has called a halt, when knowing nothing outside itself, it requires a more perfect view of reality and footsteps following more closely to the one who said, straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life. Let us therefore look away from appearances called evil, and let us examine ourselves and see how closely our daily living is measuring up to the standard of our perfect selfhood. Let us see that there is really no sin, sickness, or suffering to be considered, healed, prayed for, or treated. But life as it really is to be known and experienced naturally, simply, trustingly, in God's eternal now.